I guess I picked a late time to ask if how that is on the audio. Apologies to those of you who are wearing headphones. That's the first time I've used that clip, and I didn't realize how bassy it is. Good evening, B's, G's, NB's, Peens, Vagines, and in-betweens. I come to you as always as Charles, otherwise known as CeePo, or CP, or Chip, Chaz, a host of other names that I've been called, whether by friends or otherwise. Yes. So Sean asks, why was my name in the intro? You are a Blu-ray member on the channel membership, and Patreon producers get the producer credit in the produced, well, the edited videos, and on channel memberships, people get the higher tier gets a producer credit on the streamed content. I thought we explained that once before, but yes, you are of the tier that gets the credit, Sean. That was awesome, but it scared the shit out of me on my Sony headphones. Okay, so I need to tweak it. I guess I'll have to go back and listen to it. It is just balls to the wall right off the bat. I guess if you're sitting around like Sean does and tell me how much time I'm behind, it'll wake you up and remind you that things are here. Real quick, I saw it prior to going live, and now I can't highlight it. Are you kidding me? All right, so I can't highlight it because it was posted prior to me going live. So I'll read this now. Sean says, Q&A, why did I watch a Serbian film, Cannibal Holocaust, and Martyrs in one sitting and scar myself for life? All jokes aside, I won't be finishing the list. You don't have to finish the list, but let us know. Do a vlog or something and let us know what happened. Like, what was the line for you? I watched this, it was okay, or it wasn't okay, and I figured I'd keep going. And then I watched this, and I decided that's enough. And here are the reasons why. Trust me, I'm telling you, there's a thematic purpose for this, because you brought it up on the Patreon question, and I guess I'll segue into it and try to remind myself to connect the two. But Sean also asked on Patreon, are we all hypocrites for comedy? Is it easy to say comedy has gone too far, but change our mind when it's something too sensitive to us? And I think that they connect directly to each other. I think your taste is your taste. And I think when people think something goes too far, whether it be comedy, gore, certain subject matter with body parts touching, there are different things that everyone has these differing lines, and no two people are going to have the exact same border. Like, I think that's what's fascinating. And the reason I'd like to hear people, do vlogs and explain what happened and where they decided to stop with these movies is because everyone's different, and it's fascinating because the WILI in my channel stands for Will I Like It. And it wasn't, me asking will I like it, but it was more the we, or the royal I, I, the viewer, as a viewer asking, will I like it? It goes back to the essence of that. If we can find where people's tastes are and kind of do some reverse algorithm thing, like Cody has expressed a couple of times that things happening to kids he just can't do. So with that note, there's 4 movies on that list of, 20. I think it's 2025, but I'm requesting 15 to watch. There's at least 4 where I'm like, yeah, Cody can't watch that. Cody will hate this because of his taste with that. I think my thing is SA, struggle snuggle. I won't say the R word, but it was brought up that it's disrespectful to say struggle snuggle. And I agree. I think we should be grown-ups, especially considering most of my content is either age restricted or the yellow cat. Like I cost myself money by saying words. Considering I'm already costing myself money, why can't I just say the R word? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. And I think diluting the phrase that we use takes away from the seriousness of the thing. Like, people just grape without a G. Like, okay, so that's respectful now? I get really, I don't know, don't get me down this rabbit hole. I should ask, next time we have Gray, I need to ask him how he feels about the lubrication of language that is used on these, well, mostly YouTube. I think Twitter's the wild, wild west. But Gray is a bit more pro-comedy. Maybe not as much. Actually, I think he is pretty heavy free speech. So I'm curious. I don't know if I've ever asked him or spoken to him about this, but it's one of those things that it would be really interesting to get his take, because he's, the thing that I've heard Gray be the most serious about is well, comedy and free speech. So, let's do a Gray Q&A, a Q and Gray. All right, so I see new color. I have questions here that I've copied and written down. CP, do you have faith in James Gunn's DCU? I will get back to you on that after I see Superman, but James Gunn hasn't missed in the superhero category. So faith, yes. I kind of hope that Superman doesn't do like the meta thing and kind of goes back to being like, this old cartoon Hulk Hogan, take your vitamins and drink your milk. Like, I think I'm ready for that again, if not the rest of the world. I'm kind of over the dark, just, okay, it's a little too real. Can we please be, I don't know, excited for something, please? Dale says Scooby Doo genuinely surprised me. We will get to that. There's a question or two on the upcoming. Patrick, what's going on? Long time no see. I was confused at a super chat from the start. Well, I read it. Unfortunately, with OBS, if you post a super chat prior to the stream, it cannot, like, I can't select it. So I can't do this because it's not part of the, I don't know, the recorded stream time or whatever. CP, these are movies I rewatched today. Dark City and The War of the World. Dark City, it's funny you say that. Dark City is like on my, I have a flash drive, a USB. I probably shouldn't do this. I have a flash drive that I put things, my TV has, I don't know, whatever the Samsung, it's the same operating system as Samsung phones. And I have a couple of movies ready to watch on the TV. And funny you say that, Dark City is actually one of them. I have not watched it yet. Christian says, would you be willing to do some more watch-along videos with Rudy and Cody? Yes. I don't want to use this time as fishing for contributions, but today's stream goal actually is for movie commentary, perhaps with guests. There's another commentary that I don't know right off the bat if it will be with guests, either and or Cody and Rudy, but we're doing. I keep meaning to redo the streamathon, the marathon shit, but it is so hot in here that I can't handle the heat. I stream at night, and then when the sun starts to come out, I try to bail. But I need to get on the ball with the the marathon content, the first thing we're going to be doing is a Neil Breen movie. And depending on how we do with the fundraising, we will keep going in the Neil Breen catalog. And I'd like to set up goals, and I need to speak to collaborators on this. If we reach a certain goal, have extra people in the thing. I think Neil Breen has done either 5 or 6 movies. In a perfect world, we raise enough funds to steamroll through all 6 in one sitting. And in an even shinier perfect world, we steamroll through all 6 and have multiple guests over the course of that long, I don't want to say boring, because the 2 films of his that I've seen, they're not they're like, it's entertaining to watch because there's things to say and things to notice during Neil Breen films that are just I don't know, we could keep a plot counter to see, do we have a plot yet, and how many times do we see a laptop or a tuna bowl or a tuna can. So there are a couple of things on the horizon. I really got to get myself situated with long overdue things, which includes just outright content. But yes, I am certainly willing to do that. And Sean references the scene that was too much, and I get that. Marci. And I don't know. And it's gray. Thoughts on Denis Villeneuve as the next James Bond director? Does his name make you excited as a non-Bond fan? For me, I love the choice, but there isn't many, if none of his project, that screams Bond vibe or style. I would agree with that. Denis Villeneuve, his style is a bit more, I don't know. It's not mainstream. I'm not trying to say that Bond is mainstream, but I don't know if Denis Villeneuve, his style will translate to something as open to the mass appeal that like a Bond is trying to garner in their audience. But considering I'm not that big a fan on the Bond universe, which there's like 3 or 4 that I need to watch from the last 10 years. And then on top of that, I need to go back and catch up. I have the box set. I have the box set minus like 2 of the most recent ones, maybe 3. And I just keep, blocking myself out from watching the beginning. But I think someone like me, there's no real pressure. So I could be impressed by something that Denis Villeneuve does and then kind of be turned off by old Bond projects. So I don't have enough investment. That's like someone asking me how I feel about John Carpenter doing a Friday the 13th movie, which some people would really like it. But considering how I am with Friday the 13th, not my favorite idea. Sean, and again, it's gray. Cuties was actually a good movie, not for 15-year-old girls twerking. It had the Goodfellas story about peer pressure. The main girl wants to be liked. Yeah. And again, I've said this a couple of times in the past, that Cuties, they go too hard, which happens a lot in the French extremist stuff. They go too hard. I understand what they're trying to say, but you're losing people with how hard you're going. French extremist stuff, they really lean into the challenging aspect of challenging art. And I get it. I get it. And as much as Americans constantly complain, or not constantly, not anymore at least, as much as the complaints are up about Cuties and how terrible it is, the message of Cuties is we shouldn't be ogling children anyway. And The major sticking point was they banned child beauty pageants like 15 years ago. And in America, we're complaining about something like Cuties, yet we still have child beauty pageants. So, like, does that make us any better? Because I don't think so. I think there's a ton of hypocrisy on both sides of the discussion there. Trevor says, "What is up, everybody? Howdy, CP. Hashtag vanilla Coke." It's been a while since I've had a real life, genuine, sugar-filled vanilla Coke. Man. Aaron, your Astros are doing quite all right now. I want full-on R-rated DC. I wouldn't hate an R-rated DC, but I'd like the hope factor to return to Superman, where I didn't get this sense of hope in the Man of Steel era. I would be curious to see what it would look like if David Ayer as the anchor over DC, even though I have faith in James Gunn, but as Aaron Anderson says, I would like an R-rated universe. JDev, happy Dexter Resurrection Eve. Happy Dexter Resurrection Eve indeed. I've heard something through the grapevine of people who have received a couple of episodes, more than what we're going to be able to see this weekend. And I'm lowering my expectations and preparing to be guarded. That's all I'm saying, but I think you're a little bit more gung-ho about it than I am, and I'm still watching it. I'm just bringing the shield up, getting ready to defend myself, and I'm going right back into that household where I know I'm going to get beat. Neil Breen is the GOAT. Gotta go. Love your content and all you do. Keep it up, man. Stay healthy. Thank you, Christian. The last sentence is the hard one. Denny Villeneuve has made franchise films like Blade Runner 2049 and the Dune movies. Yeah, those are like very serious. They're not like quick in their action. They're methodical and they take their time, and it's not something that I would say heavy duty action happens over the course of that time. When I think of Bond, I do not think of Blade Runner 2049, which is so criminally underappreciated. And obviously the Dune movies. The Dune movies are kind of slow. So I don't know if I'd like a Bond movie that's kind of slow. Which actor do you like better, Aaron Taylor Johnson or Jack O'Connell? Jack O'Connell's having a hell of a 2025, huh? I really liked O'Connell in Sinners. Like, really. Okay. Forgive the spell check in the super chat. I was saying I didn't like the twerking, but it had a good story about peer pressure with the main girl. Yeah. Yeah, part of the problem with the extremist stuff is they go so far with like making you nervous that sometimes the messaging gets lost. I think a Serbian film is like that. I think Martyrs is like that. There are a couple of others that I think you could toe the line, or at least for an American audience. It seems like certainly French. It seems like the rest of the world, they're a bit more open to being challenged, where this seems to be the case more so in America than anywhere else. A lot of Americans, by my perception, watch films as something of an escape. Like it is, they don't want to be challenged. They just want to have a good time. And some of these movies, their purpose is not for you to have a good time or to be entertained. We need to remember that there are a large swath of people that think of art as challenging. It needs to be challenging. And a large swath of Americans think of movies as an escape, something to have a good time, something to turn my mind off for. And challenging art is not something that you would turn your mind off for. It's quite the opposite, actually. Yes, my Astros are on a hot streak. Well, hopefully we have a rematch of the 1986 NLCS. 86, yeah. First random one of the night, Bret Hart or Kurt Angle. Give me Bret Hart. Although I think like his mic work, like everything about him that wasn't like an in-ring performer, I didn't like it. Like so tacky. I'm not. Nope. But his wrestling ability is quite. Yeah, J.W. Evans is great. Like it's wrestling ability. Even though Kurt Angle has Olympic gold medals, it's sports entertainment, and Bret Hart is my choice. Mets only half game back of the Phillies. Yeah, I guess if they win, they're tied still. So, I'd like the Mets to have that opening round off. It looks like they're going to be a playoff team. If they're not, man, it's just another stack on the pile of life as a Met fan. But I'd like them to get that opening round off, but it'll be interesting. They need some pitching. Just wanted to send you love, CeePo. You take care, sir. Well, thank you. Any hints for Halloween's 31 and 31? Ooh, Aaron. You're one of the few that I guess haven't checked. Yes, there's plenty of hints. So what I can do for you is, Dice, aloha. I can show you. What can I show you? So here is my soft logo, where we're doing zombie content or undead content, infected content. There's no title as of yet, and here are the films: One Cut of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, the Dawn of the Dead remake, Day of the Dead, 28 Days, Weeks, and Years Later, Zombieland 1 and 2, Army of the Dead, World War Z, Planet Terror, Overlord, Train to Busan, The Crazies, both of them, Return of the Living Dead 1, 2, and 3, Wreck, Brain Dead, Reanimator, Pet Sematary 2, The Serpent and the Rainbow, Quarantine, the Night of the Living Dead remake, Night of the Creeps, Scooby Doo on Zombie Island, Zombieland 2, which was said before, and Fulci's Zombie. I've been doing like shorts content as I watch things for the first time. I posted my video on Night of the Creeps. Day of the Dead is something I have never seen and will record how I feel directly after watching it. So Day of the Dead is new to me. Planet Terror is new to me. The original Crazies is new to me. It might be 2, but I think it's 3. One of Return of the Living Dead 2 or 3, which I haven't seen either in a very long time. Anyway, whatever one I have seen, it wasn't in the 21st century. So those are like essentially new watches for me. Brain Dead is new for me. Serpent and the Rainbow is new for me. The Night of the Living Dead remake is new for me. Night of the Creeps was new for me. Scooby Doo is new to me. And Fulci's Zombie is new to me. So there's that. Hey, one KQ. Is that one king queen? Poker hand? Hey, bro, hope all is well. Quick thoughts on Dexter Resurrection. Do you think it will be good? Any potential worries? Ooh, how long do you have? Do I think it'll be good? I hope so. I'm kind of stuck in the explain yourself. I know there are a lot of Dexter fans that are like, just give me new Dexter. That's all that matters. I don't care how you get in these situations. And I'm not quite as forgiving as that. I don't mind there being some contrivances. I mean, the guy was shot dead. So unless you're going to do something where you're just showing us a bunch of stuff and it's like all a dream, which I don't put it past them at this point. It's something of a, well, oh, okay, you're acknowledging that you're something of a joke at this point. Yeah, considering what the trailer has shown us, I'm nervous. I'm nervous for. They seem to be in a rush to make all of these things. They keep having all of these like different series. Can you just focus on telling a good story? It's hard to be compared to, but you have Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, who are two very strong series. And then you have that like El Camino movie in between. Man, if Dexter could just focus on making one thing of the quality of El Camino, I'd be thoroughly impressed. But I don't have faith in them because what the first, like the prequel series that we had in this past December, it was okay. And like the response on the internet is everything's back, we're okay. Everything's solved. They made a mid-tier television show, and like is that the bar now? Just not being incredibly offensively dumb. Like I would like more from that. Like I don't know if it could be season 7 levels of Dexter, I'd be really impressed and thankful. I'm not even asking for seasons 1 through 4, but man, it seems like we're just happy with just anything new and anything that isn't objectively atrocious. And I realize I'm using the word objectively subjectively, but I don't know. I'll be there. Like I would like them to explain their way out of that. I mean, even if it's just explain your way out of the last 20 minutes of New Blood. If you need to take 3 episodes to do it, do it. But I'm sorry, I'm not the kind of guy that's like, oh, okay, that sucked, but just keep going forward. Like some people don't mind; they just want new stuff. That's not me. I like. Wait a minute. Make this make sense for me. Yeah, I'm fangirling out about seeing Michael C. Hall as Dexter again. Sure, but like he could just cosplay. I don't. If you don't care about the story, why even make a story? So I'm very guarded. I've heard through the grapevine that they're taking liberties and making it very hard to believe. They're asking a lot of the audience, apparently, and that makes me nervous because, I mean, all of Dexter, there's some really convenient moments where it's like, wow, thank God that person showed up. Ooh, thank God this person got arrested when he was looking for them. There's a bunch of that where it's just really convenient, but like if in the first couple of episodes people are talking about that already, I'm nervous. Has Bryan ever watched any of Dexter? I don't know. You know, Brain Dead is on the list for watching. I do. Thoughts on Rudy? There's like hours of content of thoughts on Rudy. Thoughts? Still waiting on that sports movie 31 on 31. if you know there's anyone that's going to fight for it, you're looking at them. I will do my best. I don't know. I think maybe Sean might be there. If you include Rocky, Bryan might be a little bit more inclined to it. But then he's going to bring in some weird, like, fucking pickleball movie that only played in Scotland or some shit. Any film, series, or cartoon that would benefit from being made exclusively targeting a more mature audience. Any film, series, or cartoon that would benefit from being made exclusively targeting a more mature audience. I don't want to say the pick that I've been talking about for years. I would like to see R-rated Darth Vader. Yeah, if you redo the prequels, if you redo the Star Wars prequels as a R-rated mature thing where, I don't know, you make Anakin and Padme's story a bit more lusty and mature, and then him going bad, you make that really mature. And don't let French people direct it. That would be like that's me wishing, but the Star Wars fan base is just so Civil War-ish about everything. I don't know if that would ever be the case. It's hard. That's probably the first thing that comes to my mind. I feel like, especially lately, especially in the last 10, 15 years, the R-rated stuff that's geared towards mature audiences has kind of carved its audience out. Like I don't want to see, Back to the Future for mature audiences. So I just kind of wish casting at this point. Message me more details on what you've heard about Dexter Resurrection. Oh, it's just that. I wasn't told anything specifically. Just they're doing some convenient stuff. They're getting in situations and conveniently getting out of them, which is Dead Alive, Brain Dead on the 31 list. Yeah, I just showed it. Felix, I'm with you. I want good content, not just new Dexter. And I think that's part of the problem, Raiders. I think a lot of people, especially, I've kind of checked in on other Dexter content creators. I think a lot of it is, I don't know if it's just making content for the sake of that's what the audience wants to hear, but the fact that the audience wants to hear it means that people just don't care. They just want new Dexter. And like, dude, you very publicly said that you were doing this again after season 8, how horribly received that was. New Blood, horribly received. How many times are you going to finish this and keep going again before you say, oh, maybe we should like really think about this before we do things and not have to redo everything? Like, if you're not completely sold on ending the character, ending the series, give yourself an out. Like, think this through. Here's this thing, we're going to do this. And in case people like it, here's this back door for another thing. I think they keep trying. Like, their thing was Harrison would be the future if things turned out well. And everyone hates Harrison. So, like, I don't know. I think for future reference, if they want to keep the character going while also giving themselves an ending, you got to make Dexter get arrested. This way, you can wiggle out of that one. But yeah, I think we're in the minority. I think people just want new Dexter. There's a possibility there's 3 series over the course of one calendar year upcoming. Like we're gonna get saturated, and that kind of sucks. Guess who's an idiot and forgot the keys when he left for work this afternoon? Well, where are you? Does watching 10 seasons about a serial killer not get tiresome after a while? You're talking to a Friday the 13th guy. Thanks for the response. I understand your grievances. Haven't really felt this series since New Blood, let alone that last season of the original. Okay. I understand, like, completely. For reference, I loved New Blood. I liked the fact that it wasn't a kill every week. It wasn't like a new victim or a new storyline with each thing. It was only like, what, three genuine Dexter things, and then the penultimate episode, it was like a flashback thing of him with the clown guy. I was into New Blood up until halfway through the last episode, and then they took such a vicious turn where it was just like, what did you do all this for? Thank you. Did you it doesn't say that you sent a message. Did you just repeat the message? I'll read it. I only got the message of the donation, not the comment. Another reminder for everyone, if you haven't done so already, and you're on the Reddit, join the gang here on r/Autopstream, and you can see that it's brand new. It's a brand new subreddit, and you might get insider stuff if you want to BS about 31 and 31 shit, or talk about how crazy one of our opinions are. I don't know. It's officially unofficial because I'm there, and I don't know any of the other guys that use Reddit, if at all. But if they do, obviously it's the as official subreddit for Autopstream as you can find. So if you'd like BSing and like there's already a comment or two where people are talking about the upcoming 31. So yeah, a place to shoot the shit on all things Autopstream. So Marci says, I sent a message, but it's long. Pickleball or some soccer crap. Heavy metal. Star Wars fans make Halloween fans look relatively normal. No comment. Just hope they do Crystal Lake series right. Friday Part 1, 1980, so underrated. Incredible atmosphere and setting. I agree. Unpopular opinion. I'd love to have a series about Pamela. Give me Bates Motel for Pamela Voorhees. You want Star Wars more lustful? Do you mean Anakin using the Force to feed her bears and talking about sand isn't lustful enough? No, I want to see the pear penetrate her mouth. Michael C. Hall will be playing Dexter until he's 90. I don't doubt that. I think a more recent film like Jack Black's Dear Santa would work better if it weren't PG-13. Yeah, that's a weird movie, just outright. I think that's part of the problem with that movie, where it's trying to be a little bit of everything. I think it's fun to see how many projects was pitched to Will Smith that he turned down. and ended up being epic, like The Matrix and especially Django Unchained, and even more. It's not always Will Smith that makes these things work, you know. But yes, still at work, my significant other brought my keys up. And are you going to Fantastic Fest in September? I'm thinking of going for the first time. I keep thinking of going, and things come up. I don't know. If I do go, it would have to be with credentials. I do not have the. I mean, I'm raising funds, so I do not have the financial capability to be going out to a film fest at the moment. I mean, if they send me credentials, I'll go. It reads for me my message on the site under who donated reason. So one of my hot takes on directors has been Christopher Nolan, and because there's a lot of Nolan gatekeepers out there, Bryan, I have a bit hard to talk about without people instantly saying bad things towards me, while not just disagree or have thoughtful conversation about it. But my opinion is not even that he's a bad director. I'm just saying a better director, especially visually, than a screenwriter, or both. Like, I feel like his best movies are filmed that he had a co-writer on, like the Dark Knight movies, The Prestige, Interstellar, and Memento. All of those are co-written by his brother. Movies like Dunkirk was good because of the suspense and visuals, but the story was a bit slow burn for me. Tenet was too ambitious and a mess. Oppenheimer was okay. But not a movie I'm interested in watching a whole lot. Inception was his best solo written film. I think it was also co-written by his brother. But I have to read it. I have read it. I have read that it had a lot to do with Leonardo DiCaprio's involvement or because of studio interference. The same with Nicholas Winding Refn. Everyone loves Drive, but many are mixed on Only God Forgives because he had more creative freedom in Only God Forgives than Drive. Anyways, I think Christopher Nolan is still good at director. Besides the Talia al Ghul death scene in Dark Knight Rises, he could have taken a few other takes than that one in the final product. Haha, besides that, this is just my opinion. Yeah. I don't think Nolan is as involved in writing as he is directing. I would agree with your statement that he's a better filmmaker than he is a writer, but I could have swore it's his brother that's mostly responsible. Like, his brother wrote and directed some of the Westworld series. So he's not Tarantino, that's for sure. Tarantino can write and direct, but Nolan's nothing to sneeze at. That's for sure. Dexter getting put in prison and becoming a Hannibal Lecter type figure for the cops to use help him arrest other serial killers seems like a possibility at this point. I don't know. I would be all over that. Didn't come out during the day. What? Austin's in September. Bring a sweat rag and dress accordingly. Yeah, no. Not my favorite idea. Not my favorite idea. Okay, let me catch up. Yep, I'm a Texan. It's a scorcher still in September. Hope everything's doing as okay as possible over there, Aaron. So, in an awful segue, back to the questions that were pre-written, preordained, asked in a non-live setting. So this question is: how many of this year's 31 are your picks? One Cut of the Dead. I think. Well, I'm certain I brought it up, and Rudy seconded that. I think Cody has not seen it or has a blind spot to it, so it'll be interesting on that. I think I brought comedies to the table. We lost out on Shaun of the Dead because we've done it already. I think I'm still in jail for Raw. Or more T10 than Raw. Technically, Fulci's Zombie. I guess I pushed for that one. I'm fine. Like it's just like the Law and Disorder one, where there were so many in there. It was like, yeah, I'm okay with this. Like, it doesn't matter. I'm not. There are times where 31, not all 31, but like 20 of them, it's just like, ugh, I don't want to do this. And then I'll get a bit more antsy and fight a bit more. That hasn't been the case recently. So I got my One Cut of the Dead. I'm fine. And I guess technically Fulci. I guess certainly the Fulci, because it's one of those things where it's like, you need to see this. And if anything, 31 is a great, it's like a great outlet to, oh, well, here's a reason to watch this. Like, I could finally cross this off. And yeah, the same can go for Brain Dead, Night of the Creeps, which I've already watched, Scooby Doo. I can't wait to rate Scooby Doo number 1 on this list. Refreshing myself with the Returns of the Deads, getting caught up with Crazies. Planet Terror, for some reason, I just never got around to. Oh, I forgot. Train to Busan might be me too. If it's not English, chances are it's me. If it's not English and it's from Europe, chances are it's Bryan. But not English, chances are it's me. Oh, so now the hot takes thing is coming in? That's weird. So I just got a notification now. Marci. Interesting. Yeah. So one for sure, but possibly 3 of the upcoming 31 are my picks, and it's fine. The list isn't, it's not going to have the same star rating as Law and Disorder. That was a very, very strong 31 we just did. Even though this is still pretty good by all intents and purposes, the quality is just a step down. But it's still fine. This is like normal good, not Law and Disorder good. So I was like okay with it. What did you mean by quote unquote spend time with Goodfellas types in the Law and Disorder video? So what I meant by that, just like I have an uncle that makes sure I get my movies watched, I've literally spent time with people. I've worked for social clubs and nightclubs and things like that. Not just doing stand up. I'm not at liberty to say what it is I was doing, but I've been around these people. I've been in environments where these people have, played poker with me, and I've been at a table or been in a room where they've been, and they being types of people that were highlighted in the Law and Disorder video. And a lot of them kind of hope or expect you to know these movies, and like they want to fulfill what your expectation of what they want you to be is. Meanwhile, they're just kind of puffing their chest and like, dude, you just run insurance scams. You're not you're not Henry Hill. Like, take it easy. My experience is people that need to tell you that they're in that business aren't really in that business. It's clout chasing, but like on the DL. Wow, I haven't said on the DL in about 10 years. So I, literally being a New Yorker, being in those places, like there's, if you've seen Rounders, Teddy KGB, who's not Italian, the John Malkovich character in Rounders, he's a connected guy. That happens. There's a bunch of clubs that are all over Manhattan, Queens, Brooklyn, Long Island that I've been to in some way, shape, or form. I've taken rides with people, no sort of nefarious nature, but like these people, we're driving somewhere and I was with them, and we went to a social club and played cards, what have you. I would sit in and deal poker cards, not deal anything else. And it's fascinating. There's people there that anyone who is a character and is in that lifestyle is quiet. Because people like me are talking stupid shit right now. If you're doing that kind of stuff for a living, you're not gloating about it because, people talk like me. And I'm trying my best not to, but I've genuinely been around people not too far up the ladder, mind you, but there was a time that I was playing at a club where it got robbed, and a very similar situation to one of the Sopranos episodes or Killing Me Softly. The thing that frustrates me about Killing Me Softly is I've experienced what happens in card games that have been held up. Not I wasn't physically there for the holding up portion, but they play things up for the movies, and you're not going to find very many Joe Pesci characters in real life. So yeah, I thought it was pretty self-explanatory, but I'm from New York. I've been around a bit. Entertainer, not a good one, but a working entertainer, and you work at clubs, so you come across some nightclub owners that are very legitimate businessmen, and sometimes even they with all of their cash on hand will still fight an entertainer about $50, and it's comical. They'll fight the night's entertainment about a $50 pay, and in the same night they'll gloat about how much money they're worth. And oh, look, I have a diamond encrusted Cadillac. Like, yeah, okay, can you just pay your work, please? Like, sheesh. Yeah, I'm not exactly comfortable getting much further into it, but like, if you don't know, like, I don't know how else to explain it to you. Like, I've been around people. I didn't do a job or anything, but my experience has been, if they talk they're kind of making up for something, because people who do things like that, they're not talking. Like, unless of course they've, like, there's a bunch of YouTubers now that, like, well, I won't say names. There are people that are on the other end of being in jail that, like, they're talking about it because it makes them money now, and they're doing very legitimate business, like, for real. So, writing books, making podcasts, there's an interest in that. So, yeah, I'm not comfortable talking about this anymore. Next question. Do you think maybe you invite yourself to other channels too much? Invite myself? I guess, is that what the perception is? I'll say it again, that will I like it is like it's not about me so much as it's just a discussion. I would hope the perception is that I don't invite myself to channels, because it's kind of like a Dutch door thing. I realize, for the friends of mine that have larger channels, it doesn't make sense for them to be on my channel. Like, there's no real benefit to them. Whereas the friends that I have who are smaller channels, it's maybe a benefit to be on my channel. But I really prefer the discussion. Like, I like having a back and forth. It really doesn't matter the audience size. I don't think I invite myself. I try to be pretty fair about things, where if no one wants me somewhere, it's not like I'm gonna get offended. Your channel's your channel. It's a puzzling question, because I'm not so focused on, like, me, which maybe I should do something about. But I like having discussion and, interacting back and forth, rather than, watching a video and commenting down below, which is very hard and stupid of me to say as a content creator. But if I'm friends with someone who's a content creator, I think it's a bit more of a rewarding experience going back and forth. And considering my neurological disorder, it's a little bit easier for me to counteract and react to and respond to people's thoughts and feelings. And I don't want to be in an echo chamber. Like, I don't want to be something where it's like, guys, this is great. Everyone tell me how great this is. Or, man, isn't this thing the worst? Let's talk about how much we hate this. Like, I don't like that. I'd like to hear differing opinions to see, oh, okay, so that's what you got from this. That's funny because I got this. And of course, there are times where, for entertainment's sake, there'll be, are you crazy? What do you mean by this? But I always say this. When we're talking about movies and fiction and things, no matter what we're talking about, no matter how, like, animated we get, it's meaningless. It really is. And some people don't like that. And I get it. I get that movies and entertainment and things like that, the escape, it's very important to people. I agree. Like, look at my walls. It's important to me too, but it's not something that, if it makes you feel good, it makes you feel better to fall into this world, that's fine. I encourage that. But, don't make the fictional thing make your life worse. Like, if you're getting angry about something that is, has no real effect on the world, why are you doing that? Like, why are you making yourself mentally unwell for something that, if you turn the channel, you turn the thing off, you don't have those feelings anymore. That's something that I still have a hard time understanding. And, we try to fabricate that image, that messaging, like when we do our arguments and debates and things, it really is about nothing. And it should be entertaining because it's, we're just talking about movies and no one's really right. It's subjective. And I guess I'll parlay that into this next question. Why no full fight with Bryan on the debrief? I tried. You got some Bryan CeePo. He maybe wasn't in the mood. I think I'm going to take full credit for fighting on the debriefs. the debrief that I was sick, the debrief that I was in the hospital. You're going to have to figure out which one that is. No, in January, I was in the hospital for the debrief, and I watched it back. There was a bunch of technical issues, but the bite of the debriefs was missing. I'd like to say it's because of me, but I think with that, because there was so much discussion about, wow, where's all the arguing and shit, and especially considering, like, Bryan and Cody were talking about Terrifier, and oh my God, I'm going to talk to you about Terrifier. And as an audience member, it was something of a letdown. And I think we were all kind of aware of that. And this most recent time, there was this overload. Like, I know that when Rudy and Bryan got into it relatively early, I was like, oh, where was this when I was gone? There was so much of it that I think the Menace to Society discussion was a pretty big deal. The Warriors thing was a pretty big deal. You got some of it. If Bryan was arguing with Cody, technically Adam too, and Rudy, and there was a couple of times where it got sticky. So I don't know. It was 2 hours into the thing. It's weird that people. I'm not saying that the person who asked the question feels this way, but it's weird that no matter what you do, people are going to think that you're mad and upset. Like, if we argue and people are entertained by it, they don't think we're upset. But if we don't argue, you also think we're upset, which is like, what are we supposed to do? Again, it's entertaining. It's fabricated. We lean into it a bit. I mean, I noticed the chat was like, what's going on? Where's the fight? And then it tried to happen, and Bryan very clearly broke the fourth wall. And it wasn't for a lack of effort, but I guess you can't make things happen. But I had a genuine issue to discuss, and I guess he was done arguing for the night. What happened to the Dexter season vids? Nothing. I don't know why I said nothing like that. Nothing. Editing, when I edit the produced content, it's in here, and the computer gets really hot, and it's been getting warm, and all I have in here is a fan, which it's currently running right now. You could see the reflection blowing this towel. It is warm, and when the computer runs the editing program, it gets warmer. The only thing about that stuff is it editing takes hours, and I don't have patience. Discomfort is my number one no. There's a season 7 video that's on the horizon. I guess it might make more sense to drop it somewhere while Dexter Resurrection is running, but I haven't abandoned it. It's just I'm not doing much produced content at all. I need to get cooler again. That, or if someone wants to send an air conditioner, an air conditioner that is, I don't know what the plugs look like, but uh, I need it to not be as hot. That's really most of the reason why there's the season 7 video is put together, or the blueprint is put together. I just need to edit it, which is the most laborious and heat-filled thing. Next question. I see color to my side. I'll get to it. 2 more, and then I'll get back to the color. By color, I mean the super chat. Is show business ever coming back? You're going to get at least one episode of show business at a certain point. Yes. I don't know what to do with that. I would ask that if you like show business and you would, I don't know, notes are appreciated. I can't tell you how many times we've said, comment down below, let us know what's going on. Show business is something where we're very well aware that there are a group of loyal, faithful to that show, but there's no growth to it. There's no nothing. It's this very same number that happens every time. I guess I shouldn't look a gift horse in the mouth, but I would like to have it resemble something of growth. And if it isn't that, maybe it'll be like a biannually thing, or like a seasonal type thing. Like, all right, let's talk about box office for winter. Let's talk about box office for spring. You know, maybe a 4 times a year kind of thing, or every half year. I've juggled the idea of having like a make or break month or something, which should have been this month, where we try to do something and set some sort of internal goal where if we don't reach this, we stop. And I like doing it. It's just it just doesn't grow. And if no one's letting us know what the problem is, it's hard to do anything about it. Last question that I have pre-written is, when is the next Brit and Twit? Those aren't planned so much as circumstance of the lady friend, the missus, being either available and or having interest in something. Like 28 years later, that was something of a date night and turned into an out of theater reaction thing. Every now and again, something comes up and there's no way to plan it. Something comes up and then we'll discuss it. Like channel members, patrons, we talked about Indy's proposal for a while, I think 50 minutes. And we also talked about The Substance for about an hour. Those are just like audio podcasts, that's probably more likely than us doing a video, but those aren't planned. So just be on the lookout. And as much as I invite myself to other people's stuff, I also have a lot of other people on this channel. So the Brit and Twit being one of those things. So yeah, if I ever want to just be Charles on a channel, maybe I will do a different channel that's just Charles, and yay, here I am doing just me stuff. But I kind of like the discourse and the different perspectives. Again, will I like it? And I is not me. I is you, the audience. Okay, let me go back. I think I saw one. Joey, how are you? Ages of Film, I hit the like button for you, dropping in to say what's up. What's up? And thank you. I'm walking here. How is Zombie 2, 1979, directed Lucio Fulci? Heard good things about it, haven't watched it. Exactly. Everything you said, I haven't watched it yet. And I hope my uncle has it. I have not watched it. For October, it will be my first time. Charles was connected. Pain and Suffering was also great. Oh, the Hellraiser one. Oh, this 31 rivals the Pain and Suffering one, in my opinion. I don't know if that's good or bad. What does that mean? Pain and Suffering was a chore for me. Zombie Island was trauma for many children, myself included. Banging soundtrack. All right, listen. I don't really lie. I don't YouTube well. If I'm impressed, I will say it. I'm not gonna lean into the bit. I'm not gonna I said I was gonna hate this, and I hate this. If it wins me over, I will say so. Planet Terror's fun, but not good. That's a lot of these movies. All right, so maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, I guess I'm wrong. Okay, so catching up with the color, I find it hilarious that Cody pushed vehemently for Scooby Doo. I don't know if vehemently would be the word I would use, but yeah, it's, I don't know. We'll let the drama play out for the debrief. I wouldn't use the word vehemently. If I wanted to be a stickler, I don't know. All I'll say is, if I really wanted Shaun of the Dead in there, we could have gone to blows. But I'm not saying exclusively me is the one that is the reason that something is or isn't in a list. But I don't know. I think the fact that he's, I don't know if he hasn't seen one cut, or just doesn't care, has seen it and just doesn't care to have it in there. But the trade-off for me was, all right, one cut's in there. Okay, whatever. Put your silly cartoon in there. And again, if we're both experiencing our respective movies for the first time, I would think Cody is going to be shocked at one cut of the Dead being what it is. And I don't want to give it this big expectation that can't be lived up to, but I don't know very many people that have seen that and are like, yeah, I don't like it. As for Scooby Doo, I've got to wear my immature brain, which is my current brain. It's just going to be hard for me to watch Tom Savini shit and then suddenly watch an animated Scooby Doo movie. It's just a thing that I'm the thematic guy. Like, what's the theme of this 31? Okay, great. I cannot get it hammered into my head. Oh, animated fucking children's thing. Yeah, this makes sense. And those aren't words that I'm saying. So, we'll see. I promise I'll be as honest as possible. As honest as possible. Law and Order... Law and Disorder was the best for me, either that one or the early ones. The early ones. Well, I mean, 33 on 31, which I really should reproduce that. I hate that that's the most watched one. And the 33 on 31, just an atrocious video. For me, my audio quality is awful. Everything since 2022 to 2024 have had issues, and it's really hard for me to deal with. I still hold on to that. It is hard to fully insane or traumatized by Zombieland as a kid, because For Whom the Bell Tolls is a banger to make me go insane. Yeah, awesome song. Where did it go? Aaron, I don't want to be that guy, but what happened to Lindsay? You spelled it like Lindsay of show business, Lindsay. She just kind of disappeared. Um, yeah, yeah, that's accurate. I would endorse that. That's pretty accurate. I don't know if disappeared would be the statement so much as kind of gave a Dear John letter to someone. Not literally a Dear John letter. Please not run with any rumors, but there is some sort of severance. So it wasn't unexpected for some people, and yeah, I don't know. Wish her the best. Where did it go? Where did it go? I'm more surprised that Cody and Bryan didn't come to blows for Terrifier. Yeah, and I think because of everyone's like, what happened? You guys were hyping this up for whatever. The fact that there was like pushback on that, everyone wanted to argue in this most recent one, and we had a guest. It was just like, this is my thing, guys. Can you all get out of the way, or at least do it when I'm not here? Is it normal to be going about my day and when my natural inclination is to think, oh, that work really? Instead of that will work easily. It's normal. It's normal. Normal for us. Easily. All right, where did it go? What's up, man? Where'd you rank Sinners in the Creatures of the Night 31? But there's still plenty of werewolf vampire stuff that we might get a part 2 to that, which is saying something for the zombie stuff too. There's a couple of things where there could be a sequel in the future. But having said that, with recency bias, top 10, maybe top 5. I need to rewatch it. But every time when I do something that's fresh in my mind, I'm either too hard on it or too favorable of it. And Sinners would be kind of favorable at this point. I need to let it settle. There are a bunch of movies that have cracked the top 10 where I'll go back and watch. I'm like, oh no, your rose-tinted glasses. Hey, Amanda, hey man, long time no see. Hope you're doing well. And I hope you're doing well. Thank you for the super chat. That menace discussion got to me. It's not about how they have no way out. Don't know why so many see it that way. Yeah. I think the fact that they show the kid experience, like they're at the card table, Samuel L. Jackson shoots a guy and the kid reacts like it scars you. It's everything you know. How do you make an escape from something like that when as a young child, all you experience is that type of stuff happening? Like, I don't think it's that easy. And again, even with that mentality, there is the grandfather character who's like, you don't have to do this here. Go to church. Like they give you the perspective that like, yeah, there's an opportunity to change. I don't know. It's not the strongest movie. It's a very hard list for that movie to be on, but to be so low by everyone, I don't know. Alex. $10 super chat. Thank you. Just a donation. Thank you. Pain and Suffering was fun for Cody, not fun for everyone else. It's fun for Cody because he did it already. See, I'm the guy that works at the museum that tries to keep all of the records straight. Like that's me for Autopstream. And Cody is the guy who's supplementing his channel. And he had already ranked a bunch of those, and he was just like, all right, well, here's a total of 31. We're doing this. And it's like, dude, I've only seen like 6 of these. I'm not watching fucking 11 Hellraiser movies because you already have. So sometimes there are reasons that it's called the Cody Leach and Friends group. And there's times where it's like, yeah, we're suffering for being the and Friends group, but the group is called Autopstream. Remember that. Looking at the comments every now and again, I'm like, you motherfuckers! I'm an OG member. I didn't join in on N Friends. Wait, you have a mature brain? No, I don't. Oh, just as far as age is concerned, not experience. Well, experience, not. But you know what I mean. Keep in mind the art designs of the zombie island and how this from Resurrected, Scooby Doo, as well as the first to have the kind of twist it does. Yeah, I don't know when to watch it. Like, if I watch 30 zombie movies and then finish with this animated thing, I don't know what that means. Like, I don't want to either. I guess if I love Scooby Doo and like it like stains how I feel about, the genre that I know is one thing. I don't know. Maybe I'll throw it in the middle. But Cody has notoriously watched things at the end that he has not watched. And he's been a little hard on things. Again, recency bias. If you don't like something and like it's fresh in your brain, the negativity is there. Or for me, more than anyone else, I think, if something's good, it's like, oh, this is the best because it's new and I don't have any experience with it. So here's thoughts. Nostalgia for Scooby Doo. Watched the zombie one a lot as a kid. All right, like I'm a little too old for that. So it's just something I'm a little too old for it. Don't have kids. So it's something that just never got around to. So I promise you, I will give it a fair shake. That's not to say I don't have a bit already written, or 2 or 3. I will give you the hint that Scooby Doo is this rankings Warriors. It is this rankings in Bruges. I don't like giving jokes away early, but if you don't know, I mean, well, I'm letting it known that that I was like this during the selection process. Like, no, either we're doing 31 cartoons or we're not. But we're doing one cartoon. But it's funny. I swear I didn't see that. I swear I did not see that. Which is more out of place, Imbrew, Scooby Doo, or the Warriors? I think the Warriors. At least Scooby Doo is a zombie movie, so I think styling, audience is different. I mean, we don't keep track of the ratings, like the PGR 18, whatever. I think as far as the target audience is concerned, Scooby Doo is a little out there. But as far as the rest of the group is concerned, Warriors, if you take Warriors, oh no, wait, you take In Bruges and put it in the Warriors' place this most recent time, that works. But then you have an empty hole, because I wouldn't put Warriors in the comedy one. I think Warriors. When I'm bored, I'll just go back and watch all the debriefs just for shits and giggles. Oh, that's nice. LOL, I didn't want to get into drama, but it was like, poof, she's gone. Yeah. That happens. I don't know. It wasn't... I don't... It's not as... It's certainly not as bad as something prior to that, Aaron. It's not like the 2019 era, but it's just oh, okay. Just I don't know. Yeah, we don't talk about that anymore. The only movie I wish was on there was Bride of Reanimator. That would be a number one. It's a shame. It's not like there's some animated movie that's out of place on this list that we could just put that movie in there. No, there's 2 sequels to Reanimator, so forgive my joke. I'm joking. Everyone relax. A YouTuber I followed early when I started interacting in chats, was friendly with, and one day just quit, never came back. Yeah, it's there's more to it that I'm not comfortable talking about. I've gone through a lot of therapy, and unfortunately, so a lot of it has to do with things in the past. I won't give it the complete attention that my therapy was. Like I have a bunch of things wrong, and that era didn't help. Another director, 31, De Palma, PTA, and Kubrick. Whew. Don't know if that's more than 31, but that would be interesting. The directors ones don't do very well, as much as we tried to backwards manufacture directors in the recent one, like the most recent 31 was like modern filmmakers. It seems like people don't get drawn to directors so much as they do movies, like the titles of movies. And now that's gray. Troy, honestly, if you can remove all nostalgia bias from the list, one cut may be the best on the list. I'd argue easily the most impressive on a technical level. That's all I'm saying. What one cut? It's top 5 for me. Like without even watching. Well, there's some that I haven't watched yet, so recency bias. So who knows? But man, one cut. Ugh. It's one of those things where, like, I've heard someone talk about it. I'm like, you didn't finish it, did you? No, I only watched 20 minutes. You didn't watch the movie. What been your favorite list of movies so far? Oh, you mean on the 31? This most recent one, Law and Disorder, both quality and ease of use. It was very easy to watch these movies. Easy. Very easy that this most recent one was my favorite. Alex. Again, no comment, huh? Just donation. Thank you. I am now petitioning to change the name of Autopstream to the Cody and Friend Group. Do people already call it that? It's a Cody and a group of other guys. That's the other name for it. Cody and a group of other guys. Great video, Cody. I have sent it down. Okay. Come on. Wow, this is a long one. CP, I followed you for a long time. I've been a fan of both talking to you in chat, but also your views and opinions. Even though it's not always that I agree, I still respect you. I'm planning to do a film with some of my peers soon. We're about to develop a script and a production date. It would be self-funded and go straight to YouTube. Hidden. But I would like to give your opinion on the concept of me and my friend's project. The film's a mockumentary-style comedy about a young man with big ambitions, just like everyone else. But how seriously does he actually take himself? And how far is he willing to go to convince both others and himself that he's someone special? Our main character, Glenn Glowerson, often bends the truth not just to others, but to himself. He constantly tries to build a cool and successful image, but beneath it all lies a person who has never truly felt seen or acknowledged, and who's also become obsessed with proving his worth. The film follows Glenn through a series of absurd, awkward, and downright frustrating situations as he tries to make it as everything from a news anchor to an entrepreneur and public figure, only to be met with rejection, misunderstandings, and social disasters. Yet he refuses to admit defeat, because in Glenn's world, failure is just a success that hasn't been recognized yet. And yes, it's set to be a Danish spoken film. I'm going to both co-direct, co-executive produce, and co-produce and co-write the film. Executive produce is a producer, but also play the main character based on real events and a real person we used to know, me and my friends. Well, right on. Let me know when it's when you have something to show. Don't forget that film is the visual medium, and it's a lot of storytelling you just did. When it comes to film and video, you want to show the audience stuff. You don't want to tell us things. You want to have things happen on the screen, especially if you want people to see it. Americans don't like to read. So if you're doing a Danish language film, I would want to have something visually engaging that gets people's attention. But right on. I'm rooting for you. Okay. And another one. Why did it not update? The site isn't exactly the most speedy on its updates. Sean, how recent did you comment, or did you just... The comment didn't reload. Maybe Marci's elevator pitch is taking up too much time on the website. Okay, let me... Troy says, In Bruges was most out of place. Is Warriors about gangs? Yes. Is that Scooby Doo about zombies? Yes. Is In Bruges a comedy? No, although it does have comedic elements. Yeah, it's a dark comedy. To get on Bryan's side here, and again, I was very heavily leaning into a joke. It fits. It fits in comedy. It's a comedy. Cable Guy is a dark comedy. It's a bit more over the top, but if we're going to say In Bruges doesn't fit, Cable Guy doesn't fit either, because they're both dark comedies. Cable Guy is a bit more like visual and over the top, but they're both dark comedies. If we were to do a 31 dark comedies list, I would shoo both of them over. But yeah, I see. This is what I like about the discourse here. Although, guys, I've realized that I encourage combative opinions so much. I think I'm at the point where I want you guys to tell me I'm awesome. I need a pick me up. No, but seriously, I like hearing differing opinions, because you don't get too stuck in the tunnel vision of it all. Like, oh yeah, everything's great. This is great, or everything's awful. This is awful. Hearing differing opinions helps. Louise, howdy. I watched Palma's Dress to Kill last night. Enjoyed it, but some of it did not age well. A lot of those movies don't age well. I think Return of Living Dead is Rudy's number one. Yeah, that's the least surprising thing. Yeah, it's like he's like modeled his channel after Return of Living Dead. Yeah. What movies are you looking forward to the rest of the year? After Superman and Fantastic Four, the only two I'm excited for are Mortal Kombat and Predator Badlands. I'm excited for Predator. Of the four you listed, Predator and Running Man. Give me anything that Edgar Wright is doing. It's a me, Fabio. That is not Fabio. Hey, Charles, hope all is good. How come Shaun of the Dead isn't on the list? I tried. Listen, we already covered Shaun of the Dead. It's not like we've never had rollover coverage any time ever in a 31. I mean, it's not like we've covered Alien movies more than once. See, now I'm letting in some of the jokes already. I'm giving you free bits for October that are that, well, not exactly free. I appreciate the super chats, but I tried. Trust me, I was the one trying for it, but we had to have animated films. We ranked it before. It makes it more fun because Shaun of the Dead would probably be my number one. So it makes it more fun. Does that sound good? Yeah, see, Troy's got it. Yeah, I checked, Sean. It's not it takes a while. I don't know why. Dawn of the Dead remake would be Cody's number one. Fucking Scooby Doo better. Motherfucker's patting himself on the back about putting a cartoon in this. Guys, you know who included Scooby Doo? It was me. Yeah. Or director, not sure. Either way, it's been done. Oh, Shaun of the Dead. It was comedy. Show don't tell, baby. Yeah. I sent a comment. Oh. Why did you take down the video in your fundraiser April where you ranked all the horror 31 and 31 movies? It's not down? Oh. If it's not on members only, it was copyrighted. There's one or two things. I know when I played the Goodfellas stuff, that got me in trouble. If it's not members only, it is copyright down. That is why. I wish I had a recording of that. But yeah, that is something we might do in the future. Now that there's more 31s to talk about. That was a fun little way to kill time. Sometimes telling the audience works, though. An example is Quint's monologue from Jaws. Just his words are enough to understand everything we need to know about that situation. Yeah. But a very good filmmaker can show you while telling you. Person that comes to mind is Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith tells very good. He does not show very well. There are directors that can tell, don't show. Aaron Sorkin. That's why Aaron Sorkin, up until a couple of years ago, didn't direct films. He's a very good screenwriter. You put him with you just need a mid-tier director, and an Aaron Sorkin script jumps. So it's possible, but I don't know. I've been converted in the last 10 years that show me. I'm not here to read, baby. I'm looking for shows to watch at the moment. Anyone have any suggestions? Shows. Man, I've watched a bunch of shows too. Did you watch The Studio on Apple Plus? That was fun, lighthearted. I don't know what type of fandom you have, but Andor is quite good. The best thing Star Wars has done in a very long time. I don't know. See, Sean, you could have done that faster. Yeah. Answered that. You is to tell a different comment, okay, is X overrated to high hell? I joke, but it's overrated. To tell you a different comment, okay, X is overrated to high hell. I joke, but it's overrated. That's fine. I disagree. You covered the big three twice, which, no offense, I thought that was a bit lazy for the sake of 2 movies in April. You go look at the numbers on those views. Lazy or not. Oh, is that why you're Team Bryan? Because Team Bryan was all about, well, this is boring. Yes, it's lazy, but it's got attention. I like genre. I like most genres apart from hospital dramas. And last month I watched Veep, Silicon Valley, and Yellow Jackets. If that helps. I'm too busy watching fucking 13 movies a week. At this point, it's only right you guys put a controversial pick in each 31. Yeah, no, it's like an ongoing gag at this point. Okay. If you do stuff on the spot fund, it's gonna take a minute. It's not reloading fast. I can drop the user recommendation: Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, Dexter, Last of Us. I would second all of those. Even Last of Us season 2. You know how much I was like, guys, just wait, and then we're still gonna have to wait. Severance is the best show I've seen in years. I couldn't get into it. I tried, and I'll tell you what, it's great for insomnia. I fell asleep hard on that. It's just not for me. For All Mankind is a really good alternate history like show, like Apple TV Plus. I started watching the morning show, and I expected it to be, I don't know, hokey. It's interesting. It is a little heavy-handed at times, but the perspectives are wide enough that I'm kind of appreciating it. And I'm a little smitten for Jennifer Aniston. They cover like a Me Too thing just think of Matt Lauer. Oh, wait, if I forget that you're not from America. Just think of the Me Too era and people in television that got in trouble. The show starts with a morning host being Me Too'd, and Jennifer Aniston is like the co-host, and she's got to live with the repercussions of losing her co-host and having to be a host on a morning show, which is a good title. And I haven't finished it yet, but I've been enjoying the ride. I have a few of the Marvel shows to watch, and I can't bring myself to watch them. I'm burnt out. Preach. Holy shit. Bob, what's going on, man? Have you ever rubbed another man's rhubarb? Only when it's warm out, sir. I maybe asked you before, but what is your favorite Danish director, favorite Danish film / TV show? Oh, TV show, I haven't seen many, but it's probably Clown. Yeah, no, Clown in both instances. I took a lot of inspiration from Clown, both because of the docu-style, but also the awkward humor and situations. Well, I'm excited. I like Clown. Klessefesten, I watched that trilogy with Dennis, and I enjoyed it, but it wasn't the strongest stuff. I prefer Clown's style to Klessefesten, which I believe in English is class reunion, or I'm butchering it. It's weird that I know the Danish word, but I don't know what it is in English. So thank God it's the title of something. I love movies to death. I watch at least one a day, but I feel like I'm watching too many could lead to burnout. It depends. Like I'm 50 into I'm going to hit 100 for 2025. I didn't think that was going to be the case. I used to be hitting like 120, 130. When you watch, especially the new stuff, brand new stuff, there's like 4 or 5 very similar movies. And when something doesn't work, it sticks out because it's like, oh, this is garbage, but this is actually good. So why would people bother with this? And you have to remember that normal people maybe watch 4 new movies a year. And what if their only experience is the one thing that's the least good of those 4? Being movie heads is, I don't know. Yeah, I'll check again. The spot fund doesn't update very accurately, guys. I do appreciate dropping donations and chats there. Okay. Marci said, I would like to add, I've spoken to Vince over Google Meet. He was very sweet and really admire his passion for filmmaking. We spoke about inside information he has on the Crystal Lake series, which I promised him I wouldn't reveal to anyone, so I'm going to honor that. But he also gave me some filmmaking advice. He said the preparation is so important because if you haven't prepared too well, then it would take you all day to do one take or one scene. That happens anyway. And it can drain both all the crew's energy, also drain the budget. If so, I'm intending to use his advice because it's true. I don't want people to become like Stanley Kubrick. I'm going to prep the shit out of my project. Yeah. Even if you prep, some things will take long. The big joke about actors when they're waiting on set is they wait for 10 hours and do 2 hours of work. Sean says, is Christopher Nolan a bit overrated? He's a great talent, but I do think people overlook some of his movies with the flaws, namely The Dark Knight Rises, Dunkirk, Tenet, and Interstellar. I'm not Team Bryan, that's a joke, but out of all of you, my movie taste most lines up with his. I don't think people overlook Christopher Nolan. I think Christopher Nolan is one of those directors that his name will get people to see that. Has anyone seen the Netflix show Trainwreck Poop Cruise? I have not. That's the OMG makes me think that it's funny, scandalous. What is that? Small Town Killers? I don't know how to say that. I think the English title of that is Small Town Killers. That whole Trainwreck series is worth checking out. I'm going to call it Festen. Maybe Have You Invested? And even maybe your favorite Danish film. What? I'm going to call it that Festen is maybe going to have you invested. I've seen, oh wait, not Klessefesten. Oh wait, you're talking about the disturbing one. The Gathering or something. I know what you're talking about. I haven't watched it yet. Farfignugan. I just hopped on what I missed. Oh, we were showing a whole bunch of naked dongs. So you're going to have to rewind it, I think. Is anyone excited for Alien Earth show? Excited? No, but I can be won over. Adam says, mildly intrigued. Rest in peace, Michael Madsen. Yeah, that sucks. We lost a couple. So in the meantime, I will we'll do a couple more minutes. Guys, if you want commentary, we're halfway to the goal. Yar. Live commentary. And Neil Breen. We're going to be doing at least one Neil Breen movie. At least one. Come on. I'm trying to load my Letterboxd. Okay, films I've watched since we last spoke. I think we did a catching up on 2025 with Gray. Bring Her Back. I don't know how I feel about that stuff. Very talented filmmakers. Just not my favorite. Ice Road Vengeance. I forgot that I watched the first Ice Road. Ice Road Vengeance. Another I don't know, straight to hell, straight to VOD, Liam Neeson movie. This time he's a trucker who's visiting Kathmandu, Cartmantage, portmanteau. It's not very good, like at all. And I don't know where the money is on that screen, but yikes. Night of the Creeps, watched for the first time. There's a short of me discussing that. You'll hear more thoughts on it in October. Jurassic World Rebirth. It's better than the last two. Since Jurassic World, it is the second best film, as far as I'm concerned. So, does that make you excited? There's a couple of scenes that are awesome, but you know, what are we? We're 7 Jurassic Park movies deep. If you want like intense scenes, there's other ones out there that I would certainly rather watch. But it's making money. People are going to watch it. Pretty Thing, which is another straight to VOD movie starring Alicia Silverstone. Just think of The Crush. If you remember Alicia Silverstone and Carrie Elways in The Crush from like the 90s, take the roles and swap them. And I haven't seen Alicia Silverstone in forever, and she is the older temptress character, and it's not great. If this is Alicia Silverstone's epic comeback, I really hope she gets another chance, because I don't know if they couldn't afford lights on this movie, but there are some scenes where it's like, can someone just put a lamp on or something, please, a flashlight? And rounding out what I've seen that's new in July thus far, not that it's brand new, but I watched The Surfer. Nope. It didn't work for me. Very, very accurate portrayal of how everyone treats immigrants now, though. Really wild. I don't know what the visual flair of The Surfer is. Like, the saturation is just cooked. Like, if you could think of Mad Max Fury Road, like it's got that. Like, sand is orange and sky is blue. It's just a bit much. And it's like a fever dream. And not like in a Nicolas Cage, not in a good way, just there's some things that I know people enjoy. It's just not my deal. And The Surfer is one of those. Fucking hell. Okay, I see you, Color. One King Queen. I'm going to call you One King Queen from now on. Omar Dorner for the road. Don't get to tune in much, but I always love the discussion. Keep up the good work. I appreciate it. Oh, New Zealand $5. What the hell time is it there? Was it like 6 p.m.? It's got to be. It's definitely afternoon for you. So that's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. Just realized Cody missed an opportunity to put the animated Resident Evil movies on. No, Resident Evil, there was a bunch of discussion for Resident Evil. There was some discussion where we had a couple. There was some discussion where we had one. There was some discussion where we had just the Raccoon City. And then it was just like, all right, all of them. They're all gone. So Resident Evil will, that's kind of put in a side basket for something down the road. So trust me, if anything, we were talking about Resident Evil too much. Have you ever watched Murderbot? No, I keep getting told that Murderbot's quite good. It seems like the only shows I'm getting suggested is Apple Plus shows. So what's that about? No one has Apple Plus, but everyone's suggesting their shows. I tell you, I was so fucking devastated over Michael Madsen's death. He was one of my favorite character actors out there. I admired how he would portray Psycho so subtle, different, and Mr. Blonde and Bud from Kill Bill. Yeah. I think when it comes to entertainers, I think we get selfish. And we're going to lose Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, Al Pacino. We're going to lose them somewhat soon. You know, within the, I don't know, 10, 15, I mean, Gene Hackman, I didn't realize he was in his 90s. I think we get selfish about these things, that these people, their performances mean something to us. But, you know, for some people, it's just their job. Like, any given actors here, their performance in blank is so important to us, and we have it on such a high regard, where we don't know the person who did that could have hated that thing. And there's an interview with the guy from Warrant, and he was talking about Cherry Pie, and was it Warrant? Whoever sang Cherry Pie, Janny, I think his name was. He would talk about how he was just so miserable that he was the cherry pie guy. And he eventually drank himself to death. I'm not saying that Michael Madsen, had any of that. I think he had a sickness, if not the big C. Sometimes, we put these people on a bigger pedestal for something that maybe they don't want, or, they have a different experience with. I don't know, it's something of an idea I've been kind of throwing around in the back of my head. But again, I seem to be geared towards content that doesn't get people to want to watch. Like, hey, let's talk about things that are negative, and not in a fun, this is woke, I hate this. Not fun like that, which isn't fun. But I'd like thought-provoking things, and it seems like on YouTube, people don't want to think about things that they don't want to think about, which is fair. I have clinical depression. Have you figured it out yet? Lake Titicaca. Liam Neeson is the new star of Naked Gun movie. They're rebooting the franchise, apparently. They're doing something. Are you excited about Peacemaker Season 2 in August? No, I've watched the first one. It's a movie. I love The Crush from 1990. I do too. I would much rather watch The Crush from 1993. Liam Neeson, I don't know how you go from Schindler's List to Jason Statham wannabe doing garbage action movies. Taken was John Wick before John Wick. Taken is essentially John Wick without the care. John Wick, they keep doing, fucking, I watched Ballerina, it's just gone already. Yeah, it looks great. I don't remember a fucking thing about it. They all start to blend together at this point. Taken was the same thing, and now he's just doing, it's a shame, because when he does something that feels kind of unique and interesting, I'm like, oh, what the fuck was the title of that? I don't remember. He does one a year. The Cold, there was one that took place in New York, where he was he was like a drunk. I liked that. Not enough to remember it very clearly, but there's so many of them that when one sticks out, you're like, oh, what was that again? Who's in it? Who else is in it? What's the title? Yes, 90s. Julian McMahon. Since we're on the subject of the surfer, it's wild. He did pass of the Big C, and he looked really good. I I, I don't know, like it's not like meant to be backhanded in any way. He looked really good in the surfer. He had good color. I mean, I guess you would need it for the surfer. Although he always did have like something covering his body, so I don't know. Yeah, life is cruel. 3 p.m. close. Just in case you read my comment and misunderstood, you commented both thumbs. You've commented both thumbs were up your ass on Planet CHH when Brandon was ranking TCM movies. Oh yeah, I think he highlighted it. Speaking of having other people on the channel and vice versa, I keep meaning to like send a flare out. I think even if he doesn't have me on his channel, I'd like to get Christian here. There's probably something to discuss, even if it's just horror and physical media. There's enough there. I keep meaning to, and I have the memory of a goldfish, but it was a funny moment, and I'm glad no one took me too seriously, and I'm glad it was highlighted and laughed about. But that's awesome. Kyle says Marshmallow movie is worth checking out. I agree. I don't know if you hadn't seen me talk about it a week or two ago. I completely agree. I've tried my best not to like spoil it for people, but if you go back, I talked about it for like 40 minutes. I really should just extract that and make that a jarbled mess of a review, a scatterbrained review of mine. But yeah, I agree. Marshmallow is like my dark horse for this year. I bet the people suggesting Apple shows have Apple TV. That's not always the case, sir. Congratulations on reaching 9K subs. Just noticed I'm well behind. Thank you. I keep doing that. Thank you very much. I really need to bust my ass and try to get 10 by the end of the year. It's not going to happen, but not with this attitude, at least. I appreciate it. I really should soak up the minor successes. But as far as my brain is concerned, I'm behind. And I really should kick myself in the ass and try to... a very extended, long-term, out-of-reach goal would be 10K by the end of the year, which I would need to bust my ass for. But thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Still can't believe Ray Liotta is the first to go out of the Goodfellas crew. Jeez. Yeah, I don't want... Okay, I'm sorry that I made this a morbid thing, but we don't have to talk about this anymore. It was a heart attack or heart failure. Cardiac arrest. Okay. Woman in the Yard is on Peacock. I actually liked it a lot. Interesting plot twist at the end. Yeah. It certainly, in hindsight, it sticks out a bit better than some other movies that I've watched recently. I watched, well, It Feeds is not a movie that, read my Letterboxd discussion on It Feeds. Sinners is on Max. Haven't watched yet, but I plan to get on that. Sinners is currently my favorite movie of 2025. I don't have Apple TV. I did, but not anymore. Yeah, my uncle helps me out very much with Apple TV. Okay, where are we? What are we on here? Did we hit 2 hours yet? Oh, we did. So, depending on the heat is the big factor here. I'll be doing a long form stream. What is in my lip? I shaved and really, I cut myself bad. I don't shave every day, and I think that's part of the problem. So I'm trying to buy time. So long form, like marathon-esque stream, fundraising stream with the Neil Breen content. I would like to fill the time with just a Neil Breen marathon. We're going to do it like we did with Human Centipede, where you'll be able to see it but obstructed. So if we can raise target goals, we'll just keep going and watch and do commentary on the entire Neil Breen catalog. I think those are just prime, they're perfect opportunities to have commentaries on, because there's not much dialogue, and the bizarre nature in which those things happen. They're perfect for like MST3K type stuff. So at the very least, we're doing one. So no matter what, we're doing one, and check that out. Maybe we'll take, if people aren't feeling that, if people have recommendations for exchange of super chats, we'll do that too. I'll be a dancing monkey for anyone with $1, or maybe 10 or 20, hopefully 50. But yeah, be on the lookout. Maybe Saturday night, maybe Friday night. Who knows? But it's going to be a long one. So when's Cody pushing for a 31 and 31 animated movie? All 31 being animated? We already got one. 30 to go. I have 550 XP for chat. I don't know what's going on. See you for the marathon. 3 p.m. Yeah, I'll be live for some portion of your awake time, I think. The XP is this like new crown thing. It's Marci Marci doesn't have the crown. Who's got the crown? Is it Sean? One king queen. One KQ. I'm thinking in poker. All right, so 1KQ has number 3 crown. Who has number 2? Sean? Does Sean have 2 or 1? Sean has 3. Wait, what? How many number 3s are there? Everyone's number 3. I don't know how this crown thing works. Alex also has crown number 3. What? Oh, Sean had number 2? What the fuck? I don't understand this. I don't understand the crown thing. I'm sorry. I don't YouTube well. Three gang. How about a 31 and 31 of Stephen King adaptations? LOL. There's way more than 31, but if you only do the original Children of the Corn, that would narrow it down a bit. See, that's the other thing. Cody's, I don't know if he has or he's going to or he's in the process of it. I remember him saying that he was doing a Children of the Corn. I'm like, yeah, I don't care. You do you. I understand you have to feed your kids with this shit, but I don't. Don't drag me into your fucking awful decisions. So we'll be doing Children of the Corn next year. I'm joking. I don't know if we are, but the Cody Leach and Friends portion, that's where we kind of get bent over a table. Anyway, so if you're watching this in the future and you have questions for another one of these, or I'll just, if I see these, I'll address them either during the marathon or any upcoming episode of Weekend Live. I'm pretty open. I would ask you to be somewhat respectful of things that I would not like to talk about, but I'm pretty open. So drop your questions, comments, etc. down below. If you'd like to discuss Autopstream stuff and have a Reddit account, r/what is it? I'm so good at Reddit. Yeah, r/Autopstream, where it's brand new. We just, now it's red. Now it's not anymore. We just started it. It's only got 16 members. But once the Cody Leach fans find out about Cody Leach, and maybe I need to change the group name. That's what I need to do. I need to change it to r/Cody Leach and Friends, and then everyone will figure out that, oh, this is legit. But yeah, there's a bunch of things happening that if you want to open the discourse, there's a bunch of places to do so. And Dexter, within 24 hours, we're getting Dexter, 30 hours? We're getting Dexter soon. And I will have thoughts, even if it's just like a quick YouTube short. Be on the lookout for that, because I'm nervous. Thank you to those of you who have dropped super chats. Thank you to those of you who have crowns, who are all number 3 crowns. We'll figure it out eventually. Thank you to those of you who have donated to the Spot Fund, the fundraiser, which will be the main goal on the marathon stream. Share the link if you haven't done so already. And I appreciate it. We'll see you again relatively soon.